See, I like this little countdown. I guess we'll try a Sicilian land. So how are you guys all doing tonight? It's been a while since I streamed in an evening. Been doing some well, as it turns out, some European friendly streams. But really it just came down to that was a time I was able to do it. Um all right, let's just stop any G4 idea. Thanks, General Advance. I guess we'll put the bishop here. Let's see where he's going. Queenside, kingside? Gonna keep me guessing for one more move? No. So he's jumping right in, Zerkmaster. So he's gonna go here. The Dragon Vinegar Bob, I have a tough time playing both sides of it. Yeah, that's definitely not a strong suit of mine. Okay, that move. I feel like I could do a good job on the dark squares now. I'm going to start with this check, and they have to block with the bishop or go uncastled. So as soon as this move is played, this square lit up in my mind. It's a hole. So I'm cool with just taking. And I could even think about this move. Do I want to do that right now? I think I do. So this is a very nice long-term feature structurally. One pawn restricting two. We could start to look into good versus bad bishop stuff. Also, queen g5 move. She could now, let's say, rely upon g5. She can't be scared away with h4. And I think I may just want to jump in there straight away. If I don't do this, maybe this move. I think this is something White would like to do. If ever a capture this knight could play. Um, let's see. One thing that kind of bothers me is knight here, but you know what? If something like this, maybe I'm okay if they take out my b pawn. I'll castle kingside and maybe I could use this open file. I'm not concerned about this because I'm going to rule that out with my next move here. So they could go pawn hunting. Although I don't have to get, I could go here. I think I just want to exchange. Yeah, I want to exchange because, what's my reasoning? I want to keep my queen defending here because I want to be able to castle. So my rook isn't going to want to be babysitting this pawn. And my idea here was to play this move next. Now that the bishop can't make use of that weakened square. And do I really want to do all of this before I castle? I think I do. I'm not doing this just to scare the knight away, but I don't want to see him even arrive here now. Okay, now if I do this, he could go here because he's pinned. So this is a good time to get my butt to safety. So opposite sides castling. This is serious. Could one day, if I have a pawn here, get my queen here and game over. So we're definitely starting with this. There was a fight going on over c5. What more? They're gearing up for this advance. I'm okay if they do this. I'm going to exchange on play f5, and even if the knights aren't on board, this is something pretty serious, I believe. I'm on the rook currently. It doesn't have too many options. Queen is pretty active. Thank you, Realms 32. Appreciate the support. Okay, that move. Let's put a dent in their kingside structure. Not doing anything about that. Wow. Okay. I'm going to take him. Let's stay here, defend this, keep pressure on stuff. A lot of stuff. Can I do anything now? Holy cow, you're just ignoring this stuff. I have him defended. So now there's pressure here. Gotta keep my eyes peeled. My opponent just does not care. Get my rook active. This doubling up I can meet with g6. Or even just take the knight. I'm gonna go here. I'm giving them this. I just chickened out there. Let's keep him in a pin. I think I just want to take the knight. See if I could induce some weaknesses first. I really need to pay more attention to the clock situation. I want to get one rook off. Looking to converge here. Make a knight move. Okay, let's just go here. Let them recapture on this square. Okay, one rook is off. Now I feel like I could get really active with my queen. I'll take him. Now we're gonna go on the A file. This is hitting really fast. King is naked. Mate threat. No time for this. Also just here to pick up the rook is good too. Just delaying stuff, and that's my... Okay, that wasn't a clean ending there. I think my opponent had his chances. Instead of taking on b2, he should have captured on d6. Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com, and I am also on take number 3. I had an issue with my recording software. Twice. All right. The wing gambit. That's a first. How do we approach this? I think the move here is d5. Although, another approach is, I think, to simply go e5. Let's just put a pawn in the center. Yeah. And how about maybe develop? I'm going to hold off on capturing that pawn. He might be a little poison. Maybe I take him on my next move. I'm just opting for some rapid development. I could take here. Any issue with that? Let's find out. Alrighty. I thought you might do that. I'm prepared, though. Let's put another pawn in the center. My knight will be pushed back. And this pawn will be won. However, do I not have this check? That could be interesting. Let's give that a go. Yeah. On here, takes, queen takes. I have this, and they're in a pin. They're not able to hunt down a piece on c3, so it's already pretty messy, huh? Yeah. They're taken out of their book, I guess. Okay, and on this I could just capture here first. With the knight. Yeah, let's do it. Queen takes pawn? Otherwise I'm just going to be up a pawn. Yeah, you have to go for that. And you probably also have to take this pawn here. Bishop to e6, queen takes g7. I can move my knight with check. Boy, this is pretty messy. Alright, I'm going to try to keep queens on the board. I think my king will be safer. They're going to take on g7? No, so this should just be excellent for me. I'm not down any material. Yeah, just double checking there. And yeah, I guess we just take here. The king is now in the open. Castles, knight d7, everybody's happy. Yeah. King is without a home, knight d7, incoming. Where are the forceful moves? Let's start with this. Queen a5 check. Is she going to go here? I have queen here, striking at the rook. Yeah, let's identify checks. Let's identify unprotected pieces. Rook unprotected. A check here. And yeah, let's just rattle off a quick move here. Pressure on f4, pressure on the rook. And how about a rook here, and then we have queen c3 as an idea. I have coordination here. They could try to challenge this configuration, and I guess we're going to have a quick W here. That's a free rook. The wing gambit. They're playing on. They're playing on. They're not playing on. They had second thoughts on this one. Okay, well, that's one of the quicker games. Okay, what to add with this one? That's a 15 mover. The wing gambit. I think the majority of the games I've played, I don't think I've really ever played this on the white end, this gambit. But yeah, the normal approach that I take here is playing d5, but that could kind of get chased around. Your opponent grabs some tempi against your queen. I always feel like I need to know. I feel like I'm going into a territory that my opponent is better prepared for. So another approach is the one that I took in the game, to just not even go pawn hunting. Yeah, you take once, but after a3, you just get on with very classical approach. Put a pawn in the center. Emphasis on development. Let's just dive right into the analysis here. Let me just bring it up. Okay, this is where I want to be. So, as I was saying, wing gambit. d5. You could go with e5, I'm almost certain. How bad can that really be? A takes b. And yeah, the emphasis here is on rapid development. At some stage, maybe I do scoop up this pawn. They saved him, which is a bother to my queen knight, but I get the e-pawn, and it's a struggle for them to get the material back. This is already better for black here. What does white have to do in reply to knight f6? c3. That's a little bit awkward. Yeah. Not only defending the pawn, I mean, what did they do? b5 was played, getting out of bishop takes pawn, but maybe it's important to stop a bishop b4 move altogether. That's a really awkward move to play, c3. Another one was knight to f3. I think it popped up, but now maybe, yeah, I jump right in there and capture on b4. Knight takes e5, and okay, let's castle. Lead in development. The very thing that white is trying to acquire with the gambit. You know, give up a pawn in search of rapid development, but kind of backfired here in just a couple more moves. Queen e2, d5, and yeah, I guess this is just excellent for me with the move bishop b4. And the line that I was highlighting here, the time I spent thinking about b4 was calculating this advance, but I could take, ooh, and that's not even best. It suggests queen c7, that's sharp. Pawn takes bishop, queen takes bishop, pawn takes knight, bishop takes pawn, and then you're on the rook. I wouldn't have played queen c7. On c3, I would have captured here, and on check here, I was content with queen e7, holding as equal. Queen takes e7, king takes e7, and okay, bishop to d2. Yeah, evenish position. Well, that would have been a sharp reply here, right? On c3, queen c7. Not really the first move that comes to mind. But anyhow, as this played out, bishop b4, knight d2. It likes bishop c3. Any issue with knight takes knight, still holding an advantage. And I felt after I blocked with my bishop, the queen has to maybe try to pick up the g7 pawn. But I guess I could just rescue my knight. What would happen on queen takes g7? I play knight to e4. Knight to e4, and then no matter where the king goes, I get to save my knight with check, jumping into c3 and king d1. At minimum, this seems pretty appealing as well, but just to highlight, I could play knight there and save my rook at the very least, and I'm up a minor piece. There's much better, but yeah, worst case scenario, that's the way I'm rescuing my piece. If queen takes pawn there. And with this, bishop takes, and yeah, I have a lead in development, and their king is uncastled. It's going to be bad news, so here, there, is it already gone after queen f6? Yeah, that's what I played, and it is gone. +2, -2. And they just didn't see that the rook was hanging. Yeah, just dropped a piece there. Queen takes, and then they resigned after some thought after playing knight to f3, but from here, I mean, do we even go any further? Rook a3, how might I continue here? I don't know if I would have played the suggested knight to b6. What is that looking to do even? Maybe knight b6 with the push and then knight to d5. Let me just carry it out a couple more moves. Knight b6, what's the idea with this knight to b6 move? Oh, to just eventually challenge the queen. Rook f d8. Offer of a queen exchange, I would decline. I have the safer king. Okay. Yeah, because it feels a bit awkward to do this because I don't know where his next forward move is. The pawn's got that covered, and am I getting to d5 by playing here? But I guess, yeah, just challenging the queen position and trying to sneak over towards the queen side would be the idea. Okay. Miniature game. Feel free to leave any feedback to this one. Any fans of the Wing Gambit? Any viewers play the Wing Gambit? Feel free to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. Hope you're having a great day, and I will catch you soon. That's all for now. Take care. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I'm on chess.com, and I just got paired up playing a 5-0 game. So let's see. Let's try Sicilian. Playing against DM JJMD. So let's see what we get. I was tempted to play E5, but that may be allowing, we may go into a Roy Lopez. Let's not play any Roy Lopez for a while, huh? After the World Championship, we've seen enough of it. So I'm just preserving the c7 square for my queen. It's very beginnerish looking at first glance to make just pawn moves and a queen move so early. But I don't think there's any issue with declaring the queen straight away. Made these prep moves already, e6 and a6 to stop any knight jumps. It may even shoot for b5 right now. I have to be a little bit careful. Let me get one more move in with my king side. I think if I go b5, there might be a rook e1 and knight d5 sacrifice, so I want to bring it to a point where I'm just one move away from castles. So let's get b6 in. I can't get b5 in. And I don't want to allow e5, so let's play d6. I'm going with a small pawn center. I don't think there's anything wrong with immediately committing my bishop right now. So let's do it. Sometimes there could be concern with some pressure against e6 if the bishop was on this diagonal to play bishop here. So clearly there's this f5 move lined up. Let's play knight here. And let's see how I react here to this idea of e5. I should probably castle. Yeah, let's do it. And I guess this is going to get in. Okay, so they're really going after me here. Is this an opportunity for queen c6? I wonder. I think queen c6 and bishop e3, knight g4. I don't think that that's really working out. Alright, I feel like I need to take some precautions against my king side. Not a big fan of doing this, but I'm going to sneak that one in there. That's a very weakening move. Really want to watch over the f5 square. And I think I want to now play pawn up to e5. I don't know. Let's see. e5, something other than e5. Well, this move isn't a threat just yet. I could consider knight c5. Yeah, let's go knight c5. This rook is in a pin. Also, both king and rook are in the line of fire. Same diagonal as my bishop. Really chewed up a lot of time there. Okay, so maybe this was unnecessary. I should have played knight to c5 and rook in reply to rook f3. Only one pawn exchanged. Rich middle game. I could still consider e5. Alright, well, let's go straight in for this. Let's get one more piece playing. This knight is unprotected. Don't know that I could take advantage of that. This bishop has a responsibility. I think I might want to play e5 soon. If rook g3, if I go e5, there's knight f5. So on rook g3, I think king h8. That's interesting. Let's just scoot right on by. I don't want to give the b5 square up to any piece. Gives up c5 that move. I feel like I should just do this. Anticipating. Okay. Well, maybe I don't want to do that straight away. About queen c5. Let's see. Queen c5. Let's give it a shot. Try to cause some problems with my queen here. Okay. And how about queen here? I'm on the knight now. 134. About a minute advantage. I got two bishops. At any moment, this knight could be challenged. Knight g5? Knight g5 could be a bit annoying. Okay. I feel like I want to get my king here. This rook is opposite my queen. And maybe now h6. Yeah, let's get him out of there. Any sacrifices against h6? I don't think that that's really working. To do a push, I'd have to move my queen. She does have a square. I could pick up this pawn, but I'm not really a fan of going pawn hunting right around this point. I could also consider h5. Yeah, you know what? I think I might want to camp out on g5. So, I guess they're not going to? Ooh. Alright, so I guess the idea is f5. My king's going to have to book. Alright, let's stay calm here. Let's take with the rook, and on this I'm going to play g5. Gonna grab that pawn, I know. I know. Oh, you know what? This knight's going to kill me. I did not appreciate the knight coming into f5. This knight's going to kill me. Alright, first off, my queen is under fire. You know what? I'm taking that rook. Yep. I'm going to try and take advantage of the light squares. I felt knight coming in at f5 would have killed me, so what's the body count here? I have a rook and a minor piece and maybe a safer king. 55 seconds left. I'm threatening a double check. Winning the house. Let's take one rook off. And where are the killer shots here? Let's start with this. King to e1. Yes. Okay. Should I just anchor my knight in there? I'm going to try for that. I'm shutting down this diagonal. Bishop c8, and I want to scoop up this pawn. What a weird imbalance. Alright, I'm going to take 19 seconds. I have a bishop check. Maybe both my bishops can enter. Got some loose pieces. Okay, 16 seconds isn't a lot either. Scoot up. Let's give this check. 10 seconds. Threatening a check and then picking up the bishop. Wow. 8 seconds. Not a lot of time. Oh, yeah, and I'm going to get mated. Oh, they had my bishop as well. Yeah, now it's falling. Oof. I think I had something there with that imbalance. Yeah, it was a very tough middle game. I think that, before I look at it with the computer, I think that if they went in for knight to f5, this point right here, I think I'm completely busted right here. If they go knight to f5, or knight e3 looking at the f5 square, I think I'm going to get killed. Don't know that I have anything here. Yeah, knight to f5. That's a dagger and a half. There's definitely some compensation there. Because one way to look at it is my bishop is just biting on a rock, the e4 pawn. And I wonder what I missed if this going in for this tactic. All right, let's have a look at it with the engine. Just give me a second here. Okay, here we go. I have the analysis running. And let's see what I could have done different in the middle game. Because this was a game where I felt like it, well, got to a point where I just didn't know what to do. I had all my pieces out, and then it's really lacking a plan. It felt like it was easier for white to play with pushing some pawns on the king side. I mean, I had the two bishops, but is that really enough? So let's see. I don't think there's any serious issue with this initial stage. Yeah. So right around here. Knight there is fine. Queen c5. Okay. Well, it points out queen c5, bishop here, and then queen back to c7. No, we're not going to do that. So I castled. And now, yeah, this is something I want to test out. What would I do on e5? Take first. And then, okay, then I could think about bishop to c5 ideas. That's what the computer's suggesting here, but yeah, as we could see, it's a very sharp position. All pieces on board. Oop, I didn't mean to go all the way back. Okay, well, I just wanted, and that's my, that's what I usually like to do. Cover the what-ifs. This is something that had my, I was concerned about e5, my opponent didn't play it, so I wanted to have a little peek at it, so bishop c5 is an idea. Rook f3. I should have really said to myself, this isn't so much a bother anymore when rook f3 was played. It wants to go with queen c5. This is what I wanted to do. But I thought after queen c5, bishop to e3, what am I doing there? Oh, queen to b4. Very computer-like. Queen b4, hitting b2, keeping pressure on the knight, and now knight to g4 is an idea. Kicking the bishop away from defending the knight. How could I have seen this idea better? Oh, you know what? On queen c5, bishop e3, maybe I should have registered this move here as a bit of a drawback for white, in the sense that it's masking both major pieces from seeing e5, from supporting e5. This is really the one move that, if there's one move in the position for white that will really increase the possibilities. If there's one pawn move for white that would really increase the possibilities for the white pieces, it would be e5. Has a new square for the knight, the bishop, f5, g6, h7, and if the e-file is cracked open, both queen and rook, of course, brought to life. So, yeah, queen c5, bishop e3, queen b2. It's also pointing at something that's unprotected. Okay. I really don't have to take it too much further there. This is convincing enough for me. I guess she can rely upon the b4 square. If we have a look at it, how could she be challenged from b4? I don't know. I'm reminded of a game that I played, a standard game, not too long ago, where I was saying when the move a4 is in, that I feel a little bit more confident about knowing where my queen knight belongs, because at some point the knight can make use of b4. Maybe I can also be saying that about a queen. The b4 square is a bit sensitive, any piece really, on b4. Okay, a rook would be clumsy, but a knight or even a queen, as we're seeing here, might take up a nice post now that a4 is in. Okay. Well, what you're hearing right now is me basically trying to teach myself. So, yeah, just making these mental notes. Okay, I went with g6, which felt very funny to weaken both f6 and h6. But not bad, I guess, at the end of the day. Not best, but not bad. King there, and now knight c5 is fine. Yeah, such a sharp position, I really should have kicked it into a higher gear sooner. Yeah. Okay. a5 is a fine reply. Now it wants to go with f5. Doubled first. d5. I didn't like d5 because of e5, and I didn't have this jumping point. Yeah, honestly, I didn't like this structural change. Well, I didn't see bishop c5. Oh, that's kind of scary. If I go here, feels like there's some pawn sacrifice with f5. Or even g4. g4, f5. Yeah, this feels a little bit iffy because my bishop, my light square bishop, and my knight are not playing. I better have something on the queen side fast, otherwise white is just a couple moves away and this is blasted open. If f5 is in and I'm not fast on the queen side, forget about it. Okay, I didn't consider d5. That's really a tough one to assess in a blitz game, that transformation with the pawn structure. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a passing move. Wasn't quite sure what to do. King h8, rook h3. This is a bit kind of going all in. For one, if I could somehow get to the back rank, there's not this flight square anymore with the rook on h3. But still roughly equal, as we're seeing. Queen c5. Queen c5, and then knight there. I think it popped up h5 for a moment, but it's fine with queen a3. And now knight there, so I should have something here. It wants to just go pawn hunting. Oh, that's tough for me to do. But why? What was the move I played? King g7. Alright, let's consider those two moves. Grab a pawn, or king to g7. So this is another improvement I can make. Just, what can I say about this? I really can't say that my king is any safer on g7 than h8. I think what really triggered king g7 is getting off of the file the rook. But, I mean, as we saw in the game, there are these ideas connected with f5 and the bishop being able to make use of h6, questioning my king position. So, it's such a complicated position, I don't think that I could really say one way or the other that the king is safer on h8 or g7. So maybe that would be a cue for me to know. Pick up a pawn, maybe even then I could grab 2 pawns in the center, and white would still be a little bit off balance. I could trade queens, for example. I don't know, what is it suggesting here? F5. But just to make a passing move to show something like this might be close to happening, where I could get 3 pawns for the piece, and if I could get the queens off, that'd be nice. Okay. Well, I didn't go picking up a pawn. King g7, and now I'm worse. Knight g5, h6 is fine. Knight takes pawn. This isn't a correct sacrifice, but I did consider king takes. Okay, tough to really say. It wants to play knight to g8 instead of pushing. Okay, well, clearly I didn't find knight to g8. g5, and I think I'm in some trouble. Yeah. Doesn't like g5. The threat here was to play bishop takes h6. Knight g8. Could have done a better defensive job here. Okay. After g5, is it gone? I'm just curious, this last part about the sacrifice. It just wants to pick up on a4. Is there anything with queen takes rook, or is it... I'm just trying to be flashy here. No, it's not a correct sacrifice. What concerned me still was if on queen takes pawn knight here. Looking at the f5 square, but I could cover that. Bishop takes pawn. Well, missed a lot of stuff in this one. Let's look at these final moves. Did I miss anything? Did I have anything in this serious time pressure? Rook check, king e1. Back to his home square. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really want to do this, but yeah, I guess I don't have anything. Yeah. Oh, now I do. Oh, man. Yeah, this is a flat-out win now. What did I do? Bishop c8? Bishop b4 is a win. Oh, man. If bishop here I take, and they have to give up the queen. And the alternative, what the computer's pointing out, is knight here. But now knight takes, and then I'm winning a piece. I'm on the queen. So this was a win here with bishop to b4. But what can I do when there's no time? Tough to defend, tough to find wins, although that wasn't the most difficult move in the world. It's the most forcing move at that point. Yeah, this is one where, if you look at the graph of the game, it'll look like a heartbeat. A lot of ups and downs. Well, no, that's not a good analogy. There'll be a lot of spikes for both sides, let's say. Bishop b4. It says there's some draw. But yeah. No, it's no good. Okay, well, we got a sharp game out of the Sicilian at least. I guess I have some draw here. Tricky to defend, though. With bishop to e7, wants to go with at this point. Yeah, covering these entry points. Tough to coordinate. Too difficult, and now it's completely busted. Even had a mate in 2 here. Queen takes h6. And then queen g6 would have been a nice finish. But all the same, dropping the bishop and then the rook. And it'd be mate soon enough from there anyhow. Okay, well, what more to say? Sharp game out of a Sicilian. And, yeah, I learned a thing or two from this one. I hope you did as well. And feel free to leave any feedback in the comments section below as usual. And I will catch you in the next video. That's all for now. Take care. Bye.